Okay, so I already pulled the side cover off of the G-Force 5-speed and took a look at it to figure out what I needed to fix it. And I can show you exactly what's wrong with it. So if we look at, let's line it up so I can do it. Okay, so this is the 1-2 slider. Now there's nothing wrong with this one, because you'll see when I pull it apart, it springs back together. So that's what it should normally do. Okay, now I'm going to rotate the assembly and let's move this back a little bit. And you can see here is the 3/4 slider, and you can see that there's no spring to it. Okay, there's a spring right there. It's broken and holding on only onto one side, so the springs are wasted. So what I'm going to do is when I take it apart, instead of just replacing the springs in here, I'm actually going to put, okay, this is a non-clutchless slider. See, there's no split in it. This one, you can see there's a split in it. So I'm going to put this slider in, okay, and then it will still be clutchless on the 1-2. It'll still be clutchless on the 2-3, but the 3/4 will not be clutchless, and the 4/5 will not be clutchless. But that's fine. I think your biggest gain is having clutchless on the 1-2 shift, and it'll just make this thing a little more maintenance friendly. So that's what I'm going to do. All right, so I'm going to start by grab this, pick it up out of there. Okay, and we'll set it down here. And we'll slide this down some more, get it more out of the way. Okay, so snap ring. Bearing. Spacer. Okay, let's get another piece of paper towel. Okay, and bearing off of here. Gear, okay. The numbers are facing outward on this, and this is the back side that goes in there. Lay it on there. Okay, we will take the those are your headset gears there. So that's the 5th reverse slider, and it's got the reverse gear on it. Okay. That's the input. that off. Is that right there? Take the hub off. Well, okay, so far we got the input and the input headset gear and the faceplate and then the hub. Okay. Okay, so then these two little half pieces were held on by this snap ring. Okay, we'll just bring it to there for now. Slide this gear up. So yeah, the spline side goes that way for the faceplate. The faceplate goes on those splines there, and then this goes against that. Okay, so we got one faceplate out. Not much wear on them. Half a slider. I'm going to use this little fiber wheel just to touch those the edges of that spline where the snap ring was against. Okay, there we go. We can drop them into there. Now, we should be able to pull the hub out. Okay. Now, this hub has 3 posts in it. And that's only on a clutchless that you have those 3 posts. So since I'm going to make this non-clutchless on the 3/4 slider, I'm going to knock these posts out. They just keep the slider from over centering, and they're only used on 3/4. They're not used on 1/2. So we'll get the other half of the slider out, and we'll pull this faceplate out. Okay, so we can get everything out without having to pull that gear out. So what I think I'm going to do is reverse these faceplates. Okay, so I got to knock these pins out of here. Okay, so what I'm doing now, I don't know if you can see this little pin. There's 3 of them in here. I already knocked one out. I'm going to knock a second one out. It's just a little roll pin is all it is. And let's okay. All 3 pins are out. I'll take the slider from the other side because that'll give me fresh engagement. I mean, like this slider, it's barely got any wear on it on the drive side, and there's nothing on the coast side, but the coast side's now going to, because I'm flipping it, the coast side now is going to be the drive side on this one. Come on. We'll put our new slider in, or yeah, the new slider. Oh yeah, we can make it. We can make it. No split slider, no springs. Get rid of that stuff. To help the push it down. Okay, so this is 4th gear. So you have to put the faceplate in first. Okay, I put a little grease on that little ring thing, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what they call it. Some kind of a retainer. There we go. We got it. So we got our new slider in here. Got that gear back in. So now slide this. Back in there. Use the big ones again. Okay, that's in. Pick this up a little bit. Snap rings in there good. Okay. Go. That. That. And then yep. Okay. So it's all back together. We got the new 3/4 slider in. I put new seals in the grooves. And I'm ready to take this assembly, main shaft and cluster, and I'm going to set it in here. So we'll pick it up. Now let's center these sliders. Okay. We're going to pick it up. Bring it over here. Let it down. Try to get it. There we go. Okay, so we had to just make sure that the sliders all went into the forks, which they did. So that's good. So, that's it. Now we take this. And we set it on here. Okay. And start putting some bolts in. this in there. Tap it in. Now we can tighten this up. There. Okay, I'm going to start at the middle of the case. This is a 7/16 thread bolt here, so I'm going to go to 45. Okay, 30 in these. That one, then we'll go to this one. Okay, this one. Then we'll go to this one. Okay, and I think we did this one already. Let me just check it. No, we didn't. Okay, so that's these 6. Now we got to do the outers. And we'll go to 35 for those. Okay, let's put the 9/16 on here for these 3/8 bolts. Okay, we'll go to this one. Okay, and we'll go to this one. Yeah, we'll go here. Okay, now we're going to go to this one. Okay, all right, so the 10 bolts that hold the case together are all done. I got to clean up this housing yet. Okay, so I was able to reuse this seal. First what I'll do, I'm going to put some silicone around this. Okay, I'm going to put a little silicone on these 2 bottom bolts. So now slide them around here. Okay, so the 45. this home. Check this one. Yes. Check this one again. Yes. Yes, okay. Okay, so next we got to put the bearing retainer on, but the bearing retainer is also the hydraulic throwout bearing. So let's do this. Oh. Right here. You can see this little fixture I made to go onto the trans jack. So it just bolts on through the slots that were already in it. And it's contoured so that the G-force will fit right down in there and it won't roll off, because the bottom of that G-force is kind of rounded off. It's not flat. Okay, so I do this so I can do this by myself and not have it come rolling off. I am not going to be able to pick that up and set it up on here by myself. Okay, so now I'm going to take two straps, wrap them under the transmission, hook them into the hook on the cherry picker, and that way I can pick the transmission up. Okay, we have the transmission up on the transmission jack. Okay, we got it kind of positioned. So what I'm going to do next is grab something to measure those fingers. Set that on the bell housing and push this in until it touches one of the fingers on the pressure plate. I'm going to set this against the transmission and then measure the clearance between the bearing and that surface. All right, I'm going to measure the distance here. Put that on there. 1. Okay, so I put this on the bell housing, and I pushed this in until it touched one of the fingers, and then I checked them all. So this right here is the distance between the fingers and the face of the bell housing. That and that both meet, so I'm going to measure from here out to the bearing. You see there's a little gap there. I'll take my calipers and measure that gap. 130. All right, that looks good. I'm going to trans fluid in it right now. It's up there. That's it. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to put some red grease on the pilot, and put a little bit on the spline. I'm going to put a couple of these studs in here. I don't know if you can see this stud. It's got some flats on it. Makes it easier to get out. And I'm going to put that up here. And up there. Through. Okay. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a 5/16 and I'm going to take the shifter. Okay, there we go. We're in 5th gear. So now when I turn this, the input will turn that way. When I get it up there, if it's not lined, if the splines aren't lined up with the clutch, I just jiggle this a little bit till it goes in. Okay, so I think everything is in place. Got the studs up there to run this into. Yeah, shit. I'm going to drop the hoist down one. Okay, so we can come up a little bit. And over. Okay, the input touching the face of the bell housing needs to go up. And I would say it needs to go over some. My foot that pushes on the bottom. Okay, let's take these lines. Put them through the register hole, and then pull them out the side of the bell housing. Okay. Can we go up any? Okay, I went up top and I loosened the Zeus fasteners on the floor because this transmission, the very top of the case, was interfering with the floor. Once it goes against the bell housing, it's up enough that that top flange on the transmission is past it, but I can't get it past it right now because it's just trying to pick the floor in the car up because it's all Zeus together tight. So now that's it. for now. Okay, transmission's up in there. My 2 lines for my clutch and the clutch leader, they're sticking through right there. And 2 bolts here, okay, here and here. And then the studs are in the top, so we're going to take the studs out. Cool. Okay, I'm going to hook up the hydraulic line that goes to the clutch. Okay, that's tight. Okay, so here's this is a long shifter. So once I get the car down in the ground, I'm going to stick a pin through here and make sure it's adjusted correctly. Okay, let's put the drive shaft in. All right, drive shaft's in. I'm going to check the shifter, make sure it's lined up. So I'm going to use this 1/4 inch bolt, slide it through the hole, see if it lines up. Okay, so I had to loosen all these rods up because they have a left and a right hand heim joint on each one of them, so that way I can just spin the rods to get them exactly where I want them. Okay, looks like the 3/4 is the one that needed it. Okay, so see the bolt slides through real nice. So that's good. Okay, so we got part of the floor in. This top piece here, got him Zeus back in. Now we gotta put this piece back in. All right. Right in there. All right. Okay, I now have this other piece of floor Zeus fastened in. I put the boot on the shifter. We plugged in the line lock. So everything's good. Yep, got to change the belt. And so it's like, I don't know, January 8th right now. So I don't want to start it because it's like 14 degrees outside. And I really don't want to run this engine in frigid cold like that. So I'm going to wait till a few months here till spring. In the meantime, I put some little Nerf balls in the exhaust just to seal the motor up good so I don't get any condensation up in there. And I don't know, that's it for now. I'm done. Okay, so then one last look at the car. It's all done. Give you a little tour. That's my 82 Mustang factory GTF. We'll walk into the warmer shop. This is my Cobra Jet. It's a 14 CJ and it runs in factory stock G. Okay, and this is a car I've raced a lot this past year, and I'm going to race it a lot this year. That's why I'm going to have somebody else drive the Probe, because I'm going to drive this car in super stock all next year. Factory GTG, I'm probably going to, I don't know, I might move into H, not sure. So that's it. See you in the spring.